My wife said she needed a solo trip to reconnect with herself. I paid for her Airbnb, packed her favorite books, even made a playlist for her drive. 4 days later, I got a DM from a stranger that read, "You don't know me, but I thought you should see this." Attached was a photo, her in a bikini, sitting on some guy's lap, laughing. The caption said, "Healing looks good on her." I booked a hotel, packed her things, and moved out before she got back. When she opened the door, all that was left was a Polaroid of us on our wedding day. I crossed up my face. I, 42 male, live in Flagstaff, Arizona. If you don't know it, it's one of those quiet towns up in the mountains. Pine trees, cool air, college kids, and not much else. Me and my wife Rachel, 38, had been married for 8 years, together for 12. We met at ASU, both a little wild back then. She was all tattoos and dream catchers. I was more the flannel and boots type. We worked somehow. Our marriage had ups and downs like everyone's, but the past year was different. She'd gotten real into self-help stuff, meditation, full moon rituals, books with names like The Four Agreements and Untamed. She started saying things like, "I don't know who I am anymore," and "I need space to grow." I didn't take it personally. I thought maybe this was just one of those phases people go through. So when she told me she wanted to take a solo trip to Sedona, to reconnect with herself, I said okay. I didn't just say okay. I made it happen for her. I searched for the best Airbnb I could find. Not the cheapest, something nice. A cozy cabin-type place with a view of the Red Rocks, one of those deep soaking tubs she always talked about. I paid the full cost up front. I packed her favorite books, Big Magic, Wild, and her old battered copy of Eat, Pray, Love. I even made her a playlist on Spotify with all her favorite songs, even ones I hated. I filled the car up with gas the night before. She kissed me on the forehead before leaving. "You're amazing," she said. "I just need to find myself again." I waved from the porch as she drove away, sipping coffee and feeling good about being a supportive husband. I really thought I was helping her find something important. She sent me updates for the first 2 days. Just little things. Photos of hiking trails, her breakfast smoothie, her journal. She said she was sleeping better than she had in months. Said she felt light again. I smiled when I read those texts. I thought maybe this would be good for us. But on the 4th night, things changed. It was a Thursday. I had just gotten off work and was heating up leftover chili when I got a DM on Instagram. From someone I didn't know. A guy named Brent. His message read, "You don't know me, but I thought you should see this." Then a photo. It hit me like a punch in the gut. Rachel was in a pool, wearing a black bikini I'd never seen before. She was sitting on some guy's lap, legs draped over him like they belonged there. He was grinning. She was laughing, head tilted back, mouth wide open. The kind of laugh she used to give me when things were good. The caption? "Healing looks good on her dizzy dot." I stared at that photo for a long time. Something inside me just shut off. Not rage. Not sadness. Just a cold stillness. Like a window cracked in my brain and all the warmth left the room. I didn't respond to Brent. I didn't message Rachel. I didn't scream or cry. I just started packing. I filled 2 suitcases with my stuff. Just the essentials. My clothes, my tools, my laptop, the photo album my mom gave me. Then I started on her stuff. Everything she owned, her incense collection, her robes, her crystals, her skincare fridge, into boxes and bags. Neat. Clean. No damage. I wasn't about to go crazy. I wasn't going to give her that power. Then I remembered our wedding photos. We kept them in a box under the bed. I pulled out the one she always called her favorite. The one of us at the Grand Canyon, arms wrapped around each other, grinning like idiots. I took a black Sharpie and drew a thick, ugly line through my face. I left it on the coffee table. Then I walked out. Now I'm living in a Best Western a few miles down the highway. She doesn't know where. She called 37 times. Texted even more. The first ones were confused. Where are you? Is everything okay? Then came the guilt. Please don't do this. Let me explain. It didn't mean anything. I just needed clarity. Then the anger. You had no right to touch my things. You're being immature. This is your fault too. I didn't answer a single one. She had her trip to find herself. Turns out, I found out who she really was. 3 days after I left, Rachel showed up at my job. I work at a local auto shop, nothing fancy. We mostly deal with flat tires, oil changes, the occasional engine job. It's a quiet place, and I like it that way. I was under a Chevy Silverado when I saw her boots step next to the lift. She always wore these brown suede ankle boots, even in summer. I didn't say anything. Just kept working. She crouched down and hissed. We need to talk. I slid out from under the truck and stood up. My shirt was soaked in sweat and oil. I didn't care. I looked her dead in the eyes and said, There's nothing left to talk about. Her eyes welled up immediately. Please don't do this here. You came here, I said flatly. This is where I work. What did you think was going to happen? She started rambling. It wasn't what it looked like. He was just a friend. We drank a little, and things got carried away. I didn't even sleep with him. That made me laugh, cold and bitter. Doesn't matter, I said. You left to go find yourself. Looks like you found someone else. She tried to reach for my hand. I stepped back. You don't get to do this now, I said. You made your choice. You left me with nothing. She snapped. Not even a chance to explain. I pulled a folded envelope from my back pocket. Inside were the receipts from the Airbnb, the Spotify playlist I'd printed, and a copy of the photo Brent sent me. I handed it to her. You had your chance, I said. She looked through it. Her hands started shaking. That photo wasn't even supposed to be posted, she said. He tagged me without asking. I shrugged. Then maybe don't sit on strangers' laps when you're married. She started crying. Real tears. But I didn't feel anything anymore. That part of me was already gone. She tried one last time. We can fix this. No, I said. You broke this. You broke me. Then I turned and walked back into the garage. 2 weeks later I got a message from Brent. Yeah, that Brent, he said. Hey man. Didn't realize she was married. She said you were separated. I didn't reply. He sent another one the next day. She told me she was staying at a friend's place. I didn't mean to blow up your life. Still, I didn't reply. But I took a screenshot. Just in case. Then, the twist came. Rachel filed for spousal support. Yup. Said she couldn't afford her lifestyle without my income. Claimed she'd given up her career to support my emotional needs during our marriage. Her lawyer sent me paperwork saying I owed her temporary support until the divorce was final. I laughed for 2 hours straight. Then I got to work. When I got the notice from her lawyer, I didn't panic. I didn't even get mad. I got focused. See, what Rachel forgot, what she never really paid attention to, was how much I kept track of. I'm not the loud one in the relationship. I'm not the showy one. I'm the one who reads every document, files every tax return, keeps every receipt. I had a drawer full of every monthly budget, every Venmo transaction, every time she overdrafted our joint account to buy candles or a sound bath retreat. She said she gave up her career to support me? She quit her job at the yoga studio because she didn't like waking up before noon. I covered all the bills while she focused on her spiritual path. And I had the emails to prove it. I called up a divorce attorney out of Phoenix. Someone my buddy from high school had used when his ex tried to take his house. The guy didn't talk much, but he was sharp as a blade. I handed over every piece of paper I had. Bank statements. Texts. That DM from Brent. He nodded and said, "We'll bury this." 1 week later, things escalated. I came home to my motel room after a long shift to find a scratch down the side of my truck. Deep one. Keyed all the way from the driver's side mirror to the back fender. Someone also left a sticky note on my windshield that said, "Rot in hell." Cute. I checked the security cameras from the gas station across the street. Called in a favor. There she was, hoodie up, face turned, but it was her. I knew that walk. I knew the way she stomped when she was angry. I didn't file a police report. I sent the footage to her lawyer instead. No words. Just the video. Next morning, the support claim was dropped. Just like that. But she wasn't done yet. Rachel started messaging my friends, telling them I'd been emotionally distant for years. That I made her feel unseen. That I left her without warning or explanation. Some of them, mostly her yoga pals, the ones I never liked anyway, bought it. A few unfollowed me online. But my real friends? They knew the truth. One of them, Jay, texted me. "She's playing the victim hard. But don't worry. People are starting to talk." And people did start talking. Turns out Brent wasn't the only guy she reconnected with over the past year. There was a guy in Santa Fe. A guy she met at a retreat in Utah. Her Instagram DMs were a goldmine of bad decisions. I didn't even have to go digging. One of the guys she ghosted ended up posting a screenshot of her messages in a private Facebook group for local men, warning others about a spiritual woman who love bombs, cheats, and disappears. Guess who saw it? Her boss. The one who was considering rehiring her. Suddenly her job offer vanished. Her support base cracked. And me? I was just getting started. I wish I could say I walked away clean. That I got revenge, held my head high, and never looked back. But that's not how this story ends. Because the truth is, I didn't just want her to hurt. I wanted her to understand. I wanted her to feel it, what it's like when someone you trust pulls the rug out from under you. When the person who's supposed to protect your heart uses it as a doormat. So I did something I never thought I'd do. I invited her to meet me one last time. Neutral ground. A coffee shop in downtown Flagstaff. Middle of the day. Public enough to keep things calm. She showed up 10 minutes late, dressed like someone playing the part of a calm, centered woman. Linen pants, mala beads, soft voice. I let her talk first. She said she was sorry. She said she missed me. She said she'd been going to therapy. And I let her keep going until she said, "I just want us to heal." That's when I reached into my bag and pulled out a plain white folder. Inside were color copies of every photo, message, and transaction I'd collected. Her healing weekend. Her fake spiritual retreats. Her credit card debt. Her lies. I slid it across the table. "This is who you are," I said. "Not some woman on a journey. Not some wounded soul. Just a liar who thought I'd never see behind the curtain." She looked at the folder but didn't touch it. Then I pulled out a second thing. The photo of us from our wedding. The one where I'd crossed out my face. "I kept this," I said, "to remind myself who I was when I still believed in you." I stood up, dropped the photo on top of the folder, and walked out. She tried to spin it. Of course she did. She posted vague quotes on Instagram about forgiveness and letting go of people who no longer serve you. But people weren't buying it anymore. The men she played came forward. Her job options dried up. Her circle shrank. I heard she moved back in with her sister in Phoenix. Started working at a wellness shop part-time. Still posting crystals and quotes. Still chasing that identity she broke everything to find. And me? I moved out of the motel and into a small place on the edge of town. It's not much, but it's mine. I started working overtime again. Fixed up my truck. Started talking to someone, just coffee, nothing serious. She listens. She laughs at my dumb jokes. She doesn't make me feel like a stepping stone. But I'm not innocent either. I enabled her for years. Paid for her dreams. Covered for her when she flaked. I thought love meant sacrifice. It doesn't. It means respect. And once I stopped getting that, I should have left. But I didn't. Not until it was too late. So if there's a lesson here, it's this: sometimes the person you'd give the world to is the one who will burn it down just to feel the warmth. And sometimes walking away isn't revenge. It's survival.